So, all right. So without further ado, I'm going to take you over to my block and we're going to start to play. All right. Let me flip you guys over. Fantastic. And I'll show you some samples that I've made. All right. Get you all set up. Hello, Shelly. Angela, I'm going to bring that stamp into the office. I have not been in yet, but by all means, when I get to the office, I will definitely have them reach out to you and set you up with some shipping and stuff. Take up your whole day, Carly. Oh, I know. I miss the days where I could just watch Facebook Lives and different tutorials all day. That usually takes up my weekend or at night. So here I did Best Dad Ever, okay? And obviously I gave it a nice matte finish. I'm just, it's personal preference with the matte. All right. Hi, Terry. And then what I did was I just put the names on the back. So we have Shelby and Tucker. I do not know whose children these are. It was just names. I think my daughter was reading. She's finishing up Tuck Everlasting. So that's how that came about. And my husband's in love with Mustangs. So I'm probably sure that's where that came about. But this is just a sample I did. So this is a nice brushed look. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to give you a quick demo with using your sanding block on how you could achieve that look. This is the Austin font, upper and lowercase. This is the exclusive font for Michaels. Rosemary, this is aluminum. So what's great about this is that it work hardens once you wear it. It's nice and solid. It's nice and thick. And it's not going to turn his wrist green. It's not going to corrode. And it's not going to tarnish. So that's always fun. And then I just did something really plain. This one I did for my dad, I think. Let's look at the names in the back. Yes. So my dad is a very plain gentleman. Not so fancy. So I think that he would have just liked the matte finish. And when you flip it around, inside his bracelet has all of his grandchildren's names. We're not Italian by any means. So definitely, two very different looks. I happen to like the matte, but when you peel the plastic off of your bracelets, they have a polish to it. So that's basically the difference between the metals on that. Okay, the finishes. More of a polished, and that is a matte finish. Now, I'm gonna walk you through the matte finish first. Let's put these aside. So I matted a bracelet. I always mat my stuff before I stamp on it, okay? It's definitely, it's personal preference. It's how you like to do it, but I mat it first. And I guess with my OCD, I mat it again once I'm finished stamping. But you don't have to do it twice. You could just do it once. You could stamp on it with the polish finish and then mat it. I do like to mat it first though. So I'm going to show you really quick how you can mat your bracelet blanks. So this right here, and I'm just going to pull this up a little bit, guys. This right here is one of our buffing blocks, okay? You have a coarse side and you have a medium side. So with the coarse side, guys, this side is what you are going to use if you have a very sharp piece of metal and you want to knock down the sides, okay? You never want to use your coarse on the front of your blanks. You always want to use the medium side. So how I just pull this plastic off so I could show you guys. Hi, Camille. Just gonna pull that off. And I'm gonna take my medium side and I'm literally just going to run it up and down. Now, it depends on how you like it. See, that's going across. You could cross hatch it. I always like it going to the left. It's just personal preference. You know, and you don't want to be too aggressive with it. You want to lightly do it. You know, guys, matting your jewelry also makes it a little bit easier to photograph. All right, and then I'm going to come back in with my buffing block and I'm just going to clean it up a little bit so I know what sides I have to go back in to buff. All right, so that leaves a, let's see if I could zoom in on that. There we go. You can see the difference between the metals. This is more of a matte, this is more of a polished look. Yes, Carly, same thing for me. Bestseller is the inside stamped when it comes to men's jewelry. All right, so we're gonna start. I am going to, again, put my block in a diamond pattern so I have more surface to stamp. I'm going to pull out a sticker guide and I'm going to show you guys how you can make sure. So Camille, what I'm working with these is 7. All right, remember 8 is very, very, very large. It's even large for the largest man. My husband's a pretty big guy, and this size is great. 8 would be very, you know, very large. So these are 7, and 7 is available at ImpressArt.com. They're not sold in the chain stores. So I'm just going to come in, and of course you would, if you're working in the center, you would find your center. I am going to work on the ends, okay? And I'm going to make sure that my sticker is following that second hash mark. Do you see how that second hash mark is meeting the bottom of my metal? Okay. That definitely is where you want. That's your sweet spot. So you're stamping straight in the center. We're using a 3mm uppercase. So I might just bring that sticker down a little bit more. Okay. Only because Arcata is a wide font. And like I said, guys, once you know your tools and you know your stickers, it's all uphill from there. So I'm just going to find that sweet spot. I'm sorry that I'm off the camera. My stamping block is 4x4. And I am going to come in with, I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to utilize my orange lines. I'm going to do Daddy on one side, okay? So now I am using today Arcadia. So Arcadia is one of my go-to favorites. It's nice and clean. The lines are nice and thin, and it's not feminine. It's not masculine. It's more of traditional. It gives a little traditional engraving feel to the piece. All right. So I am going to start with my D. And I'm going to make sure that that center of that stamp lines up with my hash mark. Move this over just a tad. And I am going to tilt and tap this font only because it has a lot of line weight in it, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting a nice impression. So I'm going to hit it once, back, forward, side, side, and pick that up. And you can see how nice those lines are in there. I'm going to take my A, bring that down, I hit it once, back, forward, side, side. Wanting to make sure that all of my serifs are in my metal. Here's my D. My other D. And then my Y. Perfect. And I'm going to pull that sticker off, and there is my daddy. And I'm going to come back on my other side, and I'm going to make sure I line up my sticker again. Remember to find that sweet spot in between because we're using uppercase. All right. Bring this back down. And I'm gonna do, let's see. I'm gonna do my EST, established. Let's see, 2009. Okay, so I'm gonna take my E, place that down, hit it once, bring it forward, side, back, back. Same thing, line up that S, give it one hit, front, back, side, side. And my T. And I'm going to take my dot stamp, give it a little hit, little tap, nothing too aggressive. And I'm going to use my Arcadia numbers, which are also 3mm. I'm going to take out my 2. And remember, guys, everybody's 6 with your ImpressArt numbers doubles as your 9. So with my 6, I'm just going to turn it around. So I have my date. Hi, Gail. So I have my daddy on one side, my established on the other. And then I'm going to come in from the center. And I'm going to use, that's what's great about these stickers, guys, is that you could use both sides. Is your ring finger touching the blank when you're stamping, moving back and forth to keep your stamp secure? My ring finger. You know, I don't believe so, Tina, but I will, I never really thought about it. Let me, let's see. All right, so I have my center, and I'm just gonna do, let's see, SAMANTHA. All right. And I'm going to come in with my S. Yes, my ring finger is touching my stamp, okay? My pinky's out. So I'm coming in, hitting it once, going front, back, side, side. So my ring finger, yes, is pressed up against my stamp and my piece of metal. So Tina, definitely press down on it. Hi, Nancy. Yes, Alicia, you could do that. Guys, you can mix fonts. You can mix all of your numbers. You don't have to have a 3mm font. You could have a 3mm font and a 4mm number. It's really all personal preference. It's basically design. But see how I'm pressing down? See how so I'm loosening up here. But do you see how I'm pressing down? Loose, press. Definitely don't be afraid that when you feel that restriction in that sticker, press down in your metal. All right. So you're going to pull that off, and there you go. And there is your one bracelet. Okay, so you can see you have a little bit of marring here. That could be avoided if I had my scratch protector down on my block, but I am literally all out of scratch protectors. So I'm going to have to get back to that office soon. But how you can take that marring away is just by taking your medium. Remember, guys, medium. Your medium buffing block. And do you see how I'm going right over it? And I'm just buffing. Just keep on going. Up and down, and it will take out some of that marring, okay? I know you still see a little bit of it, but that's why you have to just keep on running your sanding block up and down. All right. So I'm going to leave it, I'm not going to put an enamel in this, okay? I'm going to leave it just done like it's engraving. All right, so I'm going to pull this back. And I am going to bend one for you. So you want to make sure that the front of your bracelet is in that channel, okay? You're going to bring that over with the palm of your hand, just like that, okay? Then I'm going to bring the other side, just like that. And now you see this is an 8-inch bracelet. So it is very large. So what you're going to do is you're going to come in from your side where it's starting to form and just take your plier and bring it in ever so slightly. Okay? And then use it to go around your entire bracelet, forming it, using your fingers, using your pliers, okay? And then at the end, you're gonna come in and you're just gonna pull it ever so slightly, just like that, Okay, and this is the larger size bracelets. Okay, and I'll show you the difference between this is a 7-inch, and then I'll show you my 6-inch. All right, so this is my 6-inch. So there is a big difference. I don't know if you guys could really see it all that much. Okay, so maybe this is better. So there is a large, you know, it is definitely larger. Okay. So we're good with this. The difference in size is fantastic. So, and I love the matte finish. You know? So now we're going to move on to collar stays. And here we go. I know we did one of these. We did one to make skewers, right? But we're going to do collar stays today. So I really love Sailor. I love, love, love it. It's one of my first fonts that I did with the company when I started many years ago. So this is kind of, this is my baby. Definitely my baby. So here are your collar stays. So the trick with these collar stays, guys, is that you never want to stamp on collar stays the same way. Because when they go into your collar, the men's collars, they go in this way. Okay, so you always want to make sure that you're stamping like this. All right. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys got the letters in the flash sale. So what I'm going to do with this is I am going to take my sticker guide. And I am going to, because remember, this is like your 1/2-inch bracelet, guys. Do you see that? Same thing. So what do you think we're going to do? We're going to use that second hash line, but now we're using a 4mm. Remember we talked about that sweet spot in between the 1/4-inch bracelet and the 1/2-inch? So we're going to find that sweet spot now. Okay. And we're going to put that right there. And we're going to do let's see. We're going to do, let's do, we're going to do max. And I'm going to use my black hash lines. Hi, Luann. Hi, Sarah. Yes, collar stays, Sarah. One of my best sellers for Father's Day. So, max, and we're going to do Libby. Libby. All right. And then I'm going to open my font set. And remember, guys, I'm just going to go over this real quick with you guys. This is a phenomenal font. It is a 4mm font. And it's super stylized. And yes, I'm going to tilt and tap this because I want to make sure that I get all these serifs in there. Okay? And then after I'm done with this project, I'm going to stamp these out for you because these design stamps are life. I love them. Love, love, love them. Especially that swallow and the anchor. Oh, love it. Okay. So I'm going to come in with my M. I'm going to make sure that I am lined up right in that center. I'm going to tilt and tap to get all of that detail in there. So we have our Max. No, Stephanie, they're not visible. They go inside the collars. And I wasn't aware how they worked until a couple of years ago. So we're going to do our ampersand, which I love too. And let's do our Libby. I'm going to bring that down. So here is one of my collar stays. And you can stamp on both sides of this, guys. Just make sure that your scratch protector is definitely on your block. All right, I'm gonna color that in. Towel. And I'm using a regular household paper towel, dry, nothing on it. And I'm just going to take it, I'm going to dab it, and then lightly wipe. There we go. So this is aluminum, but we have them in brass and copper and alchemy, which is a pewter, a tin-based alloy. But this right here is the aluminum. Okay, and if you're using them for corn skewers, definitely get the aluminum, guys. And don't put your enamel in there because it's not food safe. Okay, so we have Max and Libby on one. And then on the other, we're going to do okay. You looked it up, Carly? Yeah, so they basically, you wear it in a tuxedo in the collar or a dress shirt, and it keeps your collars nice and pointy and firm. All right, and I am going to, and you could do a quote on one side, but I'm just going to, I'm going to give the year at the end because these two babies happen to be twins. So I'm going to go with, let's see, I'm going to go with the year. So I'm going to go with 2010. I'm going to bring this flat, line that up. I love these numbers. These might be my favorite 4mm numbers. Pull that back. And here you have the year they were born. Just gonna dab it, lightly wipe. And there we go. Pull you down. And we have our collar stays. And like I said, they come in alchemy, aluminum, and brass, and copper. So they are nice. So those are two really great projects, guys. We also have, I'm happy that you designed them with, oh, yeah, yep. Well, I'm glad that you're loving these, Sarah. We have other things, guys, other kits that are great for Father's Day too. We have a golf marker that comes in a little fob. We have that beer bottle opener that we did a couple of weeks ago. You know, there are tons of items that you could make for dads. So, and here is the bracelet. And guys, you can, you guys could definitely mat this as well. So you could just gonna take it like I demoed before, and you're just going to move up and down with your block. And you see why I mat it before I stamp it. I like to get it completely matted. Sometimes when you mat it after you stamp, you have sort of like a silhouette of the stamped area, which is actually kind of cool. But definitely I'd like to mat it before I do it. And I just want to show you these design stamps that it comes with. Let me pull out another collar stay just so I could use that as a scrap. Oh, see, Angela, I like the closed top of the 4. So, I guess it's personal preference. Personal preference. All right, so I'm just going to use this as a scrap. I'm just going to show you the design stamps in the Sailor. A pirate flag. A key, a dagger, a diamond, and this is my very favorite, a swallow. Pull that away for you. Let's color these in so you could see the detail. I'm going to dab that, lightly wipe. Yes, Terry, they will. And there are your design stamps in Sailor. I just think they're so cute. I love them. They are my favorite. go. So guys, so we went over definitely. How many are unsure about how to bend the bigger bracelets? Do you want me to do another demo of the larger? Yeah? All right. So remember that your regular, the smaller size, we have 3 sizes. We have the 5, we have the 6, and the 7. All right. So with the larger, you're going to, let me pull you all the way back, guys. All right. Okay. And where is my bending bar? I just had it. Okay. So you're going to make sure that the design that you want on the top is facing up. Okay. So you're going to put that right inside that channel and firmly place your thumb up against it. Okay. You're going to take the palm of your hand and you're going to bring it over. Just like that, okay? So that's what it's gonna look like on one side. Does everybody see that? Okay, then we're going to round, put that in the channel, place your thumb firmly against it, take the palm of your hand, and bring that side over as well. Now, you're obviously gonna have something that does not resemble a cuff. Okay, because there's more material with this. All right, so you're gonna have to come back in. And I'm trying to do this in a really strange position. So you're gonna come back in and you're gonna start with your corner. You know how we usually start from the center? And you're gonna squeeze. Okay, then you're gonna go to your other corner and you're gonna squeeze. And then you're gonna follow it all around. Now, if you have a gentleman that likes a flat top cuff, you should leave the top flat. If they don't, you can come back in, okay, and give it, move this way, and give it a little squeeze to just bring it in some, okay? And then you have your oval men's bracelet. All right. Okay, Sarah, there are 2 sizes of collar stays. The smaller of the collar stays are for tuxedo. The larger of the 2 are dress shirts. So my husband likes a flat top cuff. My brother-in-law likes it more round. It really depends on how comfortable they are with the bracelet. And to be honest with you, even if you give it to them flat, they're going to make it round because they're going to, you always like form your bracelets to your wrist. So yes, if you're going to rivet, it would have to be flat. So now we had a question about the 6 inch. So this is not for Father's Day unless you have a gentleman with very small wrists. Okay. So this is the 6 inch, and you could see the difference in the size between, let me pull you back, between the 6 inch and the 7 inch. Okay, there's the size difference. So with that, I'm going to, again, you're going to place that right inside your channel, put your thumb firmly against it, take the palm of your hand, and bring it over, okay? You always want it at a 90-degree angle. Does everybody see that? Okay, then you're going to come back in, put your thumb firmly on it, take the palm of your hand, and bring that over, okay? So you're going to have a bracelet like that. I think it's necessary to use your bracelet bending plier with the 6 inch. You're going to come right in the middle and give it a squeeze and work your way around your bracelets. Carly, what was your question about the 1/8 inch? Okay, and then I like to pull it out. All right, but you could definitely leave this flat also for a women's bracelet. It's really personal preference. So 1/8 inch, this is 1/8 inch. All right, this is the 1/8 inch. This is 1/4 inch. And this is 1/2 inch. Okay. Alicia wants to do rings on Tuesday of next week. We will put it on that list. Okay, we have a list of things that we want to do with you guys. So again, this is 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. All right. As of now, the 7-inch bracelets are only available in 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. All right. The 6-inch and the 5-inch, I think I have a 5-inch. Let me grab that for you. Oops, and there goes my, all right. This, okay. Yes, Carly, we'll definitely go through that. That's definitely a Facebook Live within itself. So, guys, this is the 5-inch bracelet, okay, compared to your 6-inch bracelet. Okay, so you could see how much smaller it is. And then when you add your 7-inch, that's where you see the difference. Marianne, you know what, Marianne? Me and Adam were talking about you the other day for your big girl hands. I'm working on that, Marianne. So yes, Angela and Carly, we can definitely make sure that we have that. Oh, I made 3/8. Sorry. No, 1/4 inch. This is a 1/4 inch. Rosemary, this is 1/4 inch. This is 1/8 inch. All right. Melissa, I can never get my impressions as dark as yours. Why? Okay, Melissa, so you're doing one of two things. The first thing that you're probably doing is you're not stamping deep enough. Okay? Because what happens is, and I'm just going to grab any font so we could just play around for a quick second. All right, so if you are too light, okay, if your impression isn't deep enough and it's too light, you're not going to have, your enamel's not going to stay in like mine does, okay? Or you are wiping it too soon. Now, I don't use anything else. You guys are watching this live. So try dabbing it, Melissa, and then lightly wiping. Okay. Just like that. Make sure that you're wiping away, Melissa, with a dry paper towel. That you're not putting anything on it. You're not using a wet wipe. You're not using an alcohol wipe. And if you still have a problem, Melissa, just send us a message. You could send us a DM. You use a little guide. The jig. If you're using a very thin gauge, you're not going to get it. Your enamel's not going to stay in as nice. I don't suggest using thin gauge metal when you're hand stamping, guys. Only because there's not enough metal to, take your impression. And I can't really talk about other metals. I could talk about our own. You need something thick in order for your enamel to stay in there. You need a nice and deep impression. The jig does come in different sizes. So Melissa, what are you, definitely send us a private message and let us know what you're stamping on so we could better help you, okay? So we could get your enamel staying in there nice. Yes, the jig comes in 3mm, 4mm, 6mm, and a 9.5. So the best gauge to use in the bracelets, I believe, is, let's see, we have our aluminum is, I just had the pack here because I forget off the top of my head because we have so many different gauges. So I like 14 gauge. So these are 14 gauge. 14 gauge are fantastic. They're nice and thick. They're easy to stamp. Remember, guys, the thicker your gauges are, the nicer your impressions come out because there's more metal to absorb that impression. If you're working with something that's very thin, I don't even know if I have something. Let's see. Let me see if I have something that's thinner. I do, actually. So here's a washer. This is a 24 gauge, okay? Guys, if you are stamping already without the jig and not having any issues, I suggest using the jig. The jig is basically there for people, for one or two that are a little shy of that hammer, okay? Or if you're having a lot of problems lining that up. If you're using your stamps properly and you're using our sticker guides, there's really no need for the jig. So I tilted and tapped this, but you see how thin that is, guys, compared to our premium blanks. Let me pull out a premium blank. Okay. So to see the difference? So it is definitely better to use your thicker gauge metal when stamping. Rona, you are having issues with the stamp bouncing. Are you using a steel head hammer or are you using a copper head hammer? A brass head, sorry, not copper. We definitely recommend, two things when you're metal stamping that you should have is a brass head hammer and a steel block. Double stamping silver. So you have a steel hammer. The reason why we suggest using the brass hammer is that it absorbs that shock. Because when you hit a steel hammer, okay, on a steel stamp, it bounces and it leaves either a ghost impression, so you'll have an A and then you'll have an A somewhere up top, or you'll get a double impression. Yes, you need a brass head hammer. Once you use a brass head hammer, your stamping will improve a great deal. You won't have that bounce anymore. Definitely won't have that bounce anymore. No bouncing. Yes, this hammer that I'm holding is a game changer, guys. It is designed for metal stamping. Let me pull this back. Okay, just like that. And it's angled. It's angled to come down and hit your stamp. Okay, I don't know what jig I have out now, but I could do a quick demo for you guys. I have I have a 3mm jig out. So I'll just show you guys this real quick. All right, let's put get a sticker guide. I'm not gonna worry about being in the center. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick demo. And I'm actually not even gonna use, I'm gonna use a butterfly. Same thing. So when you're using your jig, you always wanna make sure that you're holding it in your non-dominant hand. Okay, so if you are a righty, the hammer's going in your right hand, the jig is going in your left. You wanna make sure that you're dropping your stamp in, okay? And you see that ImpressArt is facing you. You're going to, let's see if I can pull this up. Perfect. So you're gonna take it down. Let's say I want the butterfly, oops, right here, okay? I'm gonna take it down and I'm going to line it up like I do if I did with my hands. Lightly drag that down when I feel that restriction and on the sticker, okay? I'm gonna squeeze. I'm gonna squeeze my fingers. Take my hammer, give it a hit. And there is my impression. So it's basically, if you're having problems holding your stamp steady, Carly, you're holding it upside down. Don't hold it upside down. You guys have to look at packaging. I'm terrible. I don't look at any packaging. My husband yells at me all the time. I'm always like, I don't know how to use this. He's like, did you read the directions? Nope, I don't read. I just look at the pretty pictures. So I will show that again for you, Melissa. So you are gonna make sure that your jig goes in your non-dominant hand. Even your stamps, guys, never switch from your dominant hand to your non-dominant hand. Make sure that you're lining your stamp up. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit. No, you can't, Carly. You need to squeeze your fingers, okay? So you're gonna take it, line that up. See how I'm lining my stamp up with that orange line? I'm gonna give it a squeeze. See how I'm squeezing? And I'm squeezing it just so that it's not shaking or rattling, okay? And then I'm gonna give it a hit. And there's my impression. So this is called the Simple Strike Jig. All right. So again, this is 3mm. Remember, you always want to make sure that your stamp is in there and you see the impression on it facing you. Okay? You want to line it, drag it down, and then hit it. Okay. So even if you're working without your sticker, squeeze it, hit it. Squeeze, hit. Because if you don't squeeze it, it'll rattle around. You know, it'll still work, but it won't be nice and even. So definitely give it a little squeeze. Okay? Definitely give it a little squeeze. And there you go. You're having a nice and even impression. But like I said, guys, if you're already stamping and you're getting full impressions like that, you know, you don't need the jig. All right. Any other questions? Color these in. your butterflies. All right, so I think I'm going to turn you guys around. All right, well, thank you so much for joining Jen and I today. Remember to sign up for that class for Michael's if you want a little bit more of a tutorial video and a make-along. That'll be at 3 o'clock tomorrow. There are still seats available in that class. So we welcome all of you to join, and Jen will make sure she puts that link in the comments below. She already did, so if you're gonna watch the replay, just go through the comments and you'll find the link. Kathy, the Roman numerals, yes, we have used the Roman numerals. It's definitely on our, yep, it's on Typeface Tuesday list. Yes, you have 2 classes with me tomorrow, back to back. So me and Jen are here at 1, and then we're also on with you guys at 3. So thanks for tuning in. Melissa, let me know how you make out. Definitely let me know how you make out with that enamel. You're very welcome, Sherry. You're very welcome, Kathy. So thank you guys very much. Remember to get out today, do some stamping, take a walk around the block. I mean, I don't know how it is in your neck of the woods, but it is gorgeous in New York. So I am going to head out in a little bit for a little break. And I will see you guys here. Jen and I will see you at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Good, Melissa. Try to sign up for that. Oh, I'm bad with time. I believe it's probably, yes, it's 3 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock, yes, Eastern Standard Time. All right, so there you go. Jen put the link in the comments. Thank you, Noelle, and I will see you tomorrow. And playing golf. Go have fun. Watch me on replay. I'm glad you have the new AI flowers, Angela. They're gorgeous. All right, guys, thank you so much for the support. We love seeing you guys 3 days a week, and we will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Have a great day.